Many have speculated that the Kardashians will soon be faced with every influencer's worst nightmare to fade into the shadows of irrelevance. Dun dun dun, dun dun dun, dun dun dun. A lot of this speculation started when the Kardashians were reportedly not invited to the Met Gala, but we all saw how that turned out. Regardless of them being able to attend the most exclusive event of the year, I'm not the only one who isn't convinced that they will be able to maintain their place in the spotlight. And while some may say it's been a long time coming, because let's face it, the Kardashians have been pissing us off for a very long time. Their irrelevance has very little to do with their antics and a lot to do with the fact that they cannot entertain us anymore. We've witnessed many scandals or controversies involving the Kardashians. The Kim get your ass up and work comment, which, by the way, I'm still really confused about. Is there anything in between that? How do we get the types of jobs that she's gotten? I'm just trying to figure out, if there's any steps in between. There was also Kendall's Coca-Cola ad where she ended up ending police brutality simply by being charming, magical. The Jenner sisters capitalizing off of Black culture. This is like way back in maybe 2017. So you probably forgot by now, but they had Tupac and Biggie t-shirts that they sold without the permission of their families. Kim Kardashian literally lied on Roblox like a year ago. Khloe blamed Jordan Woods for her ex Tristan Thompson cheating on her, and we saw that play out on Twitter. But none of that was really enough for people to write them off completely. So what is it about the Kardashians that's no longer doing it for the public? And why are so many people swearing off their brand? We all know that the reason why the Kardashian empire became what it is today is due to Kim Kardashian's sex tape with Ray J that catapulted Keeping Up with the Kardashians into what it was throughout the 2000s. And the show actually had a lot of fans, including me. It had carefree delivery, it was candid, and they gave off the impression that they were just a normal dysfunctional family that just happened to make it on TV. Of course, we all know that that is not the case. And the Kardashians did not start off like any normal family. They always had money and they were always very much connected. And as the sisters went on to date some of the most prominent, successful Black men in Hollywood, they grew and grew more relevant. And whether they want to admit this or not, their proximity to Blackness very well played a role in their popularity and impact on social media. And I think the Kardashians know and understand this as much as it sucks to admit. And they make this so obvious throughout this series on Hulu that they are aware of what their proximity to Blackness did for them. And I'm going to get into that a little bit more later. But we see Kim overcompensating for her styling abilities, even her family helping to overcompensate. We see her constantly bringing up Kanye West. And it's just seeming like they're grasping at straws at this point. And they're looking for a way to grab the public's attention, and it's not working. We even saw in the trailer where they said that they were going to discuss body acceptance. I would love to see what they are going to say about body acceptance, because you see in the trailer that Kylie brings it up. What is this conversation really going to be like? What is it going to do for people? What is the point of you guys talking about body acceptance right now? It just seems like grasping at straws to me, because they know that season 1 and season 2's antics just aren't gonna cut it this time. In season 1, they brought up the sex tape, introduced Pete and Kim's strange relationship. There was a little bit of Tristan drama. They didn't really get that deep into what happened with Tristan. It happened more so at the end. It wasn't enough to keep people engaged, because nobody thought Tristan was gonna stay loyal. Nobody was putting all of their eggs in Tristan's basket and saying, oh yeah, Tristan's gonna be there, Tristan's gonna never cheat again. He cheated with somebody who's literally a friend of the family. So I don't think he has boundaries at this point. You know what I mean? And there's a lot of talk about Kim's law career. And we all know why that's a thing in season 1, because I did talk about that in my video, The Kardashians Are White Again, how Kim Kardashian, she's painting this whole persona of her being a lawyer, of her being a family girl, of her letting black people out of prison. She's painting a saint-like figure. And that's not to say that nothing she's doing is cool and beneficial. That's not saying that, because if she's helping people who were wrongfully convicted get out of jail, she's doing a good thing. What I'm saying is, not every good thing done is done with genuine intention. Sometimes people do things to purposely paint themselves like a Christ-like figure. They want you to see them as this savior. And it literally goes back to privilege. Because for you to understand your privilege and to be helping black people or helping all sorts of types of people get out of jail for being wrongfully convicted, and you understand that a lot of the reasons why people get locked up like that is because of different levels of discrimination and different levels of privilege. With the same mouth that you use to speak out for these people, you're gonna turn around and tell people it seems like nobody wants to work anymore. How do you not recognize your privilege with the opportunities that you're handed in life? In season 2, that's when it really started giving PR stunt, and a lot of people wrote about season 2. People blogged about season 2, and they were disappointed in the season because even for their real fans, they see that nothing is actually reality, and they're getting frustrated with this. There's a lot of half-ass cleaning up social media scandals and really bad acting in season 2. Season 2 is also where Kim dangled her relationship with Pete Davidson in front of everybody and was basically teasing that she was gonna have him on the show just to have him on the show for only a few minutes. While they did plenty of damage control to avoid talking about the scandals that people actually tuned in for, they almost used Khloe as a scapegoat, trying to convince us that that was the biggest scandal surrounding their family at the time. There was no talk of Kanye's disapproval of Pete Davidson. There's no talk of why Pete Davidson felt the need to tattoo her children's initials on his body. There was no talk of Kendall Jenner's relationship or her tequila controversy. And there was certainly no talk of the Astrofest tragedy and how that may have affected Travis Scott and Kylie Jenner. And season 3 is really no different. It's just a bunch of baiting and boringness, trying to convince viewers that there will be some sort of payoff for their time, some entertainment that doesn't follow the same stale production style as the previous 2 seasons. So season 3 episode 1, this is where the unnecessary drama begins, because I just find it difficult to believe that Kim is incapable of taking 30 minutes out of her day to go to the bathroom and lose her shit for a bit if she needs to, or take a vacation, or drop one job. I just find this to be a desperate attempt to be relatable, because think about all the people who actually don't have the option to take a day off, and they actually don't have nannies to watch their children. They don't have siblings that they could just drop their kids off at. I just thought it was extremely tone deaf for Kim Kardashian to say, can everyone just keep their shit together for once so that I can lose it? I just think it's so insulting to the people who watch her kids. Like, it's just privilege if I've ever seen it. And it's so funny how her attempt to make people with overwhelming schedules, people who co-parent, people with family issues relate to her, and she completely misses the mark. It's just so funny to watch it. And yes, I understand people don't have to do this in front of the entire world, but neither do you, Kim. Neither do you.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
Moving on to episode 2, we see Kim is trying to convince us at this point that her daughter has no idea what's going on with her divorce drama. Her daughter has no idea that she has a sex tape. Her daughter doesn't know about anything dramatic that happens, anything negative that happens. Her daughter has no idea, because after all, Kim is perfect in every way, including motherhood. Perhaps she does have North supervised 24/7. But how did it go over your head that Ice Spice was saying stuff about men grabbing her, while dancing with your 9-year-old? And this isn't even me trying to trash Kim's parenting in any way, because I'm a firm believer that parental mistakes will be made. It's just something that's gonna happen. And even knowing me when I was growing up, I was sneaky. There were things that I did that my parents, my grandparents, I feel like they don't know to this day. They don't know to this day. And if they're saying they do, I don't know. Like, why did you not beat my ass? Because I've done some things that, nobody knows. So at the end of the day, it doesn't make you a bad parent. So it's just completely unnecessary to paint that picture. We also get a sense from the Kardashians here that they're a little worried about what the blogs are saying about the show so far, because for some reason it's annoying that the blogs mention Kanye West not being there, but it's not annoying that you're sitting there mentioning that the blogs are mentioning that Kanye West isn't there. Why would he be there? Why would he be there? Nobody's really like concerned as much about Kanye West not being there as much as they're concerned about the fact that there's a lot of things that are happening that are purposely being ignored while trying to paint a perfect picture that at this point nobody believes. No disrespect to Courtney, because that's my girl, but what are you selling right now, sis? She's selling vitamins apparently. And Courtney, are you a doctor? Whenever celebrities come out with like vitamins or like any sort of like health benefit thing, like a tablet, or it just always rubs me the wrong way, because I don't want health advice from a celebrity. But I feel like these vitamins are literally just candy though, which, I mean, in that case, I guess it's fine. And before y'all come for my neck, I know that Courtney is health conscious and she's been health conscious, but that doesn't make me trust your vitamins. I'm sorry. I also think this is the episode where Kim started talking about working with Dolce & Gabbana. This is the fashion show that apparently is like the center of all the drama between Courtney and Kim. And we could start to see issues forming between Kim and Courtney because of it. We could see this happening throughout the show. And I do get why Courtney would feel betrayed because of the connection to her wedding and how the collab was important to her. But I also don't get why Courtney would think that Kim would say no to that when she is clearly desperately trying to prove to everybody that she can style without Kanye West, that she is a fashionista without Kanye West's help. In episode 3, we see more promo about Courtney's vitamins. I love her, but just no. Of course, Tristan gets brought up and Khloe is seemingly completely over it at this point, which is just interesting, right? Because Khloe, it's like you could have been over it when he was fucking with Jordan Woods, but then again, like, I guess you had to go have that surrogate baby with him. So, because I just think it's just sus. Like, it's like as soon as they pop out, Kim popped out her last kid, it wasn't long before her and Kanye got a divorce. Khloe popped out her last kid with Tristan, and then it wasn't long after that. It's like not long after the kid comes out that you guys are breaking up with these men, which is making me think that y'all just wanted the black baby. I'm gonna get roasted for this, but am I wrong? Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong though? Is that not what it looks like? And this is also the episode where we see Kris Jenner talking about how everything is her fault. Everything is her fault. And everybody's fake disappointed in her, and she's fake disappointed in herself. And it's just a whole bunch of fakery. Like, nobody really cares about what Kris Jenner did in the past to get everybody famous. Nobody cares that Kris Jenner was a perfectionist. Nobody cares that Kris Jenner overworked them. Nobody cares that Kris Jenner literally exploited her young children, allowed Kylie Jenner to be with a man who was an inappropriate age difference, especially for how old she was. In reality, the majority of you are grateful. You're grateful. And they do sort of admit that, but it was just annoying that you guys are standing there being like, yeah, Chris, it is your fault. It is your fault. And Chris is just saying like, okay, and so there's a little bit more on Fashion Week in this episode because we see Kim having a meltdown because her stylist is late. Her stylist didn't have her passport or something and she missed her flight. So you see Kim having a meltdown because of this. She is like, what am I gonna do? I definitely need her. You don't need Kanye West, but you need her. Like, am I wrong? Am I wrong for thinking that this is just so obviously you trying to prove that you can do without Kanye, which you absolutely can, but it's just so desperate. It's so weird. And it's like, who is making you do this right now? Nobody's making you do this. You could just go back to posting your thirst traps because nobody cares, like, except for me, because I'm sitting here making a video about it, but nobody else cares. Nobody else cares. Only Missy cares. Only me. But yeah, it just seems inauthentic because everybody saw how Kim's style went from granny to bad bitch the moment she started dating Kanye West. She went from Beverly Hills nanny to I'm gonna take your man. She literally like she was wearing some cute things, but it just seemed like somebody who had access to designer but didn't know how to put it together. It just seemed like somebody who had access to nice things but didn't know what to do. They didn't know where to go. And Kanye West said, come, I will help you. Because let's face it, Kim Kardashian was styling Paris Hilton. Was Paris Hilton dressed? What was she wearing? What was she wearing? Because no, it's not. You cannot use that as credit. That's not a credit. Invalid credit, okay? We all saw how her styling and even like her followers on Instagram and everything, a lot of it had to do with her style. And we have to face the facts here that it catapulted. Like everything just fucking went crazy when she started dating Kanye West. She had one explosion in her career when she dated and had the sex tape with Ray J that exploded, and another peak is when she got with Kanye West. Am I wrong for that? And ever since then, like in between then, it's just been scandal after scandal that never really stuck. You know what I mean? So yeah, to me, it's just weird and attention seeking, and it's just dishonest. It's just so weird. So let's move on to episode 4. The trailer for this episode is literally so annoying. They just worked so hard to try to bait people in so many ways. And the only thing that was even slightly true is the whole Kourtney being upset with Kim about Fashion Week thing, which at this point, I don't even think it's real. Because Kourtney, you didn't think Kim was going to turn that down, did you? Like, I get why you think it's a betrayal, but you knew she would do what she wants. Like, she's going to get the bag. And she's not going to care what anybody else has to say. Wait, you think I need your permission? Yeah, it was just a lot of bait because there was really no drama at the event.
The big question is, how's the pregnancy going?
In fact, Kim and Khloe proceed to call Kourtney a liar. They just being mean girls. The other people around are just kind of like awkwardly looking at them and like, yeah. You say Kourtney is a bitch. You say Kourtney is a hater. She's a hater. They're just looking at her like, okay, like, you're really sitting here talking shit about your sister right in front of us, huh? Okay, well, okay, sis. Like, it was very gross behavior. And there's also a conversation in this episode between Kourtney and Kendall where Kourtney's basically trying to tell Kendall, you know, this is why I'm upset. And she's like crying and she's really upset about it. And Kendall's just looking at her like, she's really sitting there sporting her 818 tequila hat, giving that cultural appropriate queen realness vibe, and just completely like looking at her sister like, I hate when I'm like crying in front of somebody and they're just looking at me like I'm a fucking idiot. We also see in the show that Kim is gifted jewelry, which obviously is the perfect opportunity for her to bring up the fact that she was robbed and that she hasn't been wearing jewelry since then, and she's so grateful for this gift, so she has to bring up a previous scandal. And you know, if that really happened, that shouldn't happen to anybody, and I am sorry that that happened to her. But it's just really interesting how like they just keep bringing up shit that happened in the past when there's so much shit that happens in real time that they just ignore and they brush over, they don't care, and they don't talk about it. And it's a reality TV show, but they keep talking about the past. Is the past your reality? You're not gonna address what Kendall did on social media. You're not gonna address the Astrofest tragedy. You're not gonna speak on the important things that people really want you to talk about. You're not gonna address your private jets that you guys are just having carbon emissions all over the place with. I'm not gonna be surprised if they after this season or the next season, they just don't make any more seasons. I'm not gonna be surprised. The other thing that really bothered me about that is the fact that Chris was like agreeing with Kim when she was saying, oh, none of her other sisters would have survived this. If it was anybody else, they would have been done. They would have given up on life. And it's just like, are you trying to emphasize how strong you are by saying that all of your sisters are weak? Like, if somebody dealt with something like that where they got mugged, right? At gunpoint or knife point, or I don't remember exactly what it was, and they got tied up and stuff, and they were traumatized for a long period of time. What is that to like for you to sit there and be like, you would have never survived it, you would have never been okay? Kim, you released a sex tape. You, your mom, Ray J, I don't know who y'all were all in on it. Let's just get that straight. You guys were all in on this sex tape, and you have victimized yourself repeatedly year after year after year after year after year. And you're still sitting here trying to convince everybody that you're the strong one. You're the big don. You're the big guy. You don't stay down for too long, right? You just post really moody Instagram pictures to show that you're dealing with something at the moment. That's all you do, right? You're strong. You just get right back to work. And anybody who does otherwise, what does that say about them? What was the point of you saying that? I just don't even I don't get it. And saying, oh, you're happy it happened to you. And yeah, you're happy it happened to you because you got more publicity out of it. Is that really bad for me to say? Let me know in the comments if that's really bad for me to say. Because it's like, fuck yeah, you're happy that it happened to you. Like, so strange words come out of your mouth, lady. Like, I'm the strongest Kardashian, bow down. So I'm gonna just skip over episode 5 and move right along to episode 6, because I feel like episode 5 was just to publicize Khloe's fling with that 365 days guy, and it's just annoyingly obvious. So we're just gonna move past that. It's just weird. In episode 6, we see Khloe planning Kim's birthday party, which was a dinner the night before. Then they were supposed to be on a trip to Vegas to go see Usher. There were issues with turbulence, so they ended up going to In-N-Out. But can we talk about some of the things Chris said during this speech, though? Like, she was calling Kim the leader of the family. Isn't Kourtney older than Kim? Like, I just feel like it's kind of insulting. Like, if I was sitting at a table with my sister, granted my sister is like a little bit older than, like, the age gap between me and my sister is different. But if I was sitting with my sister and everybody, right, and we had a closer age gap, but I'm still younger than her, and my dad was like, you're the leader in the family, I would personally be like, no. How am I? First of all, I don't want that responsibility. But also, that's just fucking rude. Because it doesn't make sense. Common sense would say not to say that. And even Khloe being like, oh, I just keep looking over at Kourtney to see if she's okay with Kim getting praised like that and da-da-da-da-da. And it's like, bro, Khloe, calm down. Because now you're really tight with Kim. And it's like, it's not giving, because they used to bully you. Kim used to bully you. So just stop. Like, I know you guys are sisters and stuff, but you could also, like, not bully Kourtney in the process. It's just weird. You could praise people on their birthday without telling lies and like, making everything seem like it's different than it actually is just because it's that person's birthday. I hope everyone realizes how this entire season they've been dragging out this conversation that needs to be had between Kourtney and Kim, though. And they just keep dancing around it and throwing little hints. Kourtney and Kim still have not spoken, even though Kourtney was at Kim's birthday party. They still haven't spoken. And I'm not saying that they have to have a dramatic conversation at her birthday, but it's just so funny that you guys have just dragged this out when it didn't have to be. It's been 6 episodes, and this drama is not gonna be, it's gonna be very underwhelming. I promise you that. Keeping up with the Kardashians used to actually be entertaining. Or maybe I was just shallow and now I need a little more. I don't know, but I think about other reality shows, like even Siesta Key is better than this shit. And if we want to talk about wealthy women just living life and being entertaining, the Real Housewives will always beat this. On top of the trailers being so clickbaity and the show just missing many of the elements that made it popular in the first place. Just like people are hitting unfollow on influencers they no longer find relatable, people are doing the same with the Kardashians. They started off as this carefree family and quickly turned into a group of money-hungry individuals desperate to remain in the spotlight, even if that means having to sell fake stories and constantly victimize themselves to do so. And I'm really interested to see how this body positive conversation is going to go down, because we all know that's another big thing they've been teasing. I think they know exactly what they're doing. The question is, are they going to get away with it this time? So what do you guys think of season 3 of The Kardashians? Have you been enjoying the show? Have you actually been enjoying the series? Have you even been watching it? Did you already give up on The Kardashians? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video or found any value in it, I would love it if you would just give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I do have a link in my bio to support the channel in any way if you want. It's called Buy Me a Coffee. Thank you guys so much in advance if you decide to do so, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.